I'm gonna steal your sunshine and I'll shit on your parade. Don't get me started on doing Michael Caine. My opinion matters, yours will fall in last place. I'm not shutting up and you'll be learning my name. Fifth in the family, but first in my mind. 1 out of 10, but I'm ranking just fine. We've only got now, there's no afterlife. Look, Mom and Dad, I'm just speaking my mind. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everyone's coming on Kyle tonight. Wait, what? No, nobody's coming on Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. You can't shut this mouth, but you're welcome to try. I only stop talking and drink, smoke, or eat and cry. I'll never shoot up, gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die.
All right. Hey, everybody. Yeah. We are live here with episode 21, right?
21, yeah.
21 of season 3 of Kyle Moucha Won't Shut Up.
It was obviously today.
We totally filmed that intro today.
Yes.
No, that is part 2 in a at least 2-week excursion Justin and I are going into called, we didn't film an intro this week. Sorry to everybody that tunes in to see new ones. I know today would have been a very picturesque day to do it,
yes.
But things just got carried away, and then we wound up starting the song way earlier, and it is still going.
Still being worked
This
on.
is one hell of a night. You guys are in for one fuckery of a show.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was from a couple months back. That was actually Justin chose the one where I injured myself. That was the intro where at one point while dancing on the bed of the river, I tweaked my calf muscle really hard, heard like a snap and a pop, and I fell down to the ground right after we were done, and you were just like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, dude.
And I
thought I was going to have to carry you out.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, plus, I wanted something green and colorful. Like we were
Cheers
trying to,
up.
We didn't actually, we kind of got screwed on the colors for this season.
Yeah.
We didn't really, it changed so quickly. We didn't really get a lot of good
we got like 2 or 3 weeks where it was happening, about to happen, and then happened.
Yeah.
And
I think we got a break in between that. So then
we missed the beginning of the changing. So that's what kind of we did kind of lose it. But yeah, we got kind of it was about to go into full bloom, and then it went into full bloom, and then it was bloomed. Bloomed already. It was bloomed and doomed.
Yeah.
All right, but hey, I'm your host here, Kyle Moucha, with Kyle Moucha Won't Shut Up. Joining me, as always, is Mr. Justin Olimpado upstairs in that camera up there. If you're watching live on YouTube or on YouTube in the future, you can see us.
In the future.
And if you're live, you can chit-chat with us back and forth in the chat. If you are listening on iTunes or Stitcher in the future, just remember, fucking Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
YouTube.
Pretty
it's
much
cold
every
out.
week.
What else are you doing now?
Yeah, don't go outside. It's terrible.
Especially today.
Honestly, my house. I asked my roommate a little bit earlier. Still out of power.
You're still out of power.
We lost power
to
this moment, like an hour ago at least.
Yeah.
So we lost power at 10 a.m. yesterday. and then it came back on around like 2, and then it went back off around like 3:30. And it's just been off since then. They had said 6 o'clock yesterday, and then 6 o'clock today. Now certain places are saying 5 o'clock tomorrow. So who knows
That's crazy.
What's going to happen? So stay warm out there, stay dry. Most of the precipitation is done at this point, but the freezing cold is still happening.
And I don't know how you would see this, but if you don't have any power, come on up.
Yeah. If you're watching this right
now
and you are
like if you're on your phone, you don't have any power, come on up.
We don't have a guest today. You can be our guest if you're here in
Chill
a
on the
half hour,
couch.
45 minutes.
Seriously.
Mine flickered, but no outage. All right, that's good for you, Richard. Good for you.
We
piece
lost
of
power
crap.
about
Lucky
halfway
man.
through this song.
Oh yeah, we did lose power halfway through writing and recording.
We didn't
the song
lose
tonight.
anything.
Didn't lose anything. That was
Ableton's great for that.
That was wonderful. Yeah, he was working on the live there, so it had everything up to date with where the power went out and his nice new computer setup.
Yeah.
Had him
Hey,
up and
if you
running
need a
real
computer, let me know.
Let Justin know. He'll help you out.
Yeah.
Shameless plugging.
Oh, man.
But the weather has been really the last couple of days. We had the ice, and then we had a little bit of snow. Not really a lot of snow. I thought we were going to get much more. But last night, this has become a thing in where I live now. We have a screened-in porch, and I'll sit out there and I'll smoke cigarettes, drink some beer. And last night, without any power on, I was all wrapped up, sitting on the porch, and I'm listening to the sounds of trees cracking and falling in the woods around me. And it's a weird, kind of sadistic, fucked up thing to enjoy, but I really fucking like the sound of hearing the trees cracking under the weight of the ice and snow and then falling through all of the other trees. And I have like a tertiary sound that happens now, because it would be the third sound. You hear the crack, you hear the fall, and then now, because there's a giant lake in the middle of the yard, I hear a giant splash.
Oh, damn.
So you hear and it's fucking awesome.
Is that what you recorded?
No, I did not record that. We're going to show you a video here, so definitely go check us out on YouTube so you can watch that video. But I was sitting outside, and first thing that happened was I hear a loud crack, and then I hear a tree come down, and I hear a thud, and immediately my roommate Mike just brought home another car like it's a lost puppy last night, so I was like, his brand new 1992 Jeep Wrangler is done.
Yeah.
I think he just brought it home like 3 hours earlier. I was like, it's done. And then I remembered my roommate Dan had moved his girlfriend's car out from underneath where she had parked it away from like the elements. Yeah. And I went outside and there's just a tree. We'll show you a picture of that shortly, but there's just a tree down right on top of it. Yeah. So I get Dan, we go down, we clear it out and all of that stuff. But then I go back upstairs. You got the picture here of. Yeah, so this is my, there we go. This is my roommate's girlfriend's car last night. So it was 2 large pieces of branches that fell down right on top. You can see that. It missed her windshield literally by a couple of inches. That shot that you have up there right now, the one that you just had up, that is the new iPhone 11's night mode. So that is me absorbing all of the light, and that is 1:30 in the morning, 1:45 in the morning.
Oh, I thought that was like during the day this afternoon.
Nope, that was 1:45. Yeah, I just left it there all night. No, 1:45 in the morning. So if you got an iPhone 11, fucking check out the night mode. It's sweet.
It's crazy.
You just hold it for like 10 seconds. It absorbs all the fucking light. So that's the damage she had done. Not too much, just a little ding right there. Another one, and then so that's the. This is a picture of a tree now that fell in the backyard. And there's big branches everywhere, but right after it happened, I was sitting outside.
There's a night mode as well?
That's another night mode picture. They're fucking amazing, man. They're absurd. Like, that is such a cool picture. That is
fucking rad. I just want to take that thing and
just
get a bunch
wander.
of people and fucking take pictures at night.
It's gonna be a fun thing to play around with the winter, because the white of the snow makes it look like it's the middle of the day. So you're gonna hit play on this video here shortly. So the video is
I think this is it.
that's not it.
That's definitely not it.
That's not it,
my
Justin.
God. Okay.
But this is right after well, you'll see what fell in my backyard. So this is what I filmed.
All right, so this just fell right outside, as my roommates call it, the rage cage. It's just a screened-in porch.
It is.
But yeah, this fell, and about maybe 45 minutes ago, a nice chunk of a branch fell on my roommate's girlfriend's car.
Could have just played this
It
video.
just like barely missed the house. Like that's pretty good. And that one's
got
like
close
just
there.
hovering
Look at
right
that.
over it. So we're gonna see what happens, I guess.
So yeah, that's just still sitting there.
I'm not even smoking a cigarette. That's just how cold it is. Breath.
That's my breath. Whoa. You can tell that my alone at home voice is much different than my on the air voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that thing missed the house by like literally 3 feet.
Well,
it was fucking nuts. So
I was
insane.
in Holly for the storm, and I got a text from Zach, and he's like, "It's a good thing you weren't here because a tree would have landed on your car."
Fuck.
I don't know if that was all of the branches and whatnot, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, we don't know exactly what he cleared out of the way. Zach is in the chat right now. He is not down here just yet, but he's saying that he think we went overboard this week, boys. And I am going to back him on that. I don't want to go too into detail with exactly what we've done until he's down here, and we do our segment where we chit chat about the song itself. But we did something much different this week than we've ever done before for our Brunch Weekly original single.
Yeah.
I think I hear the sounds of him making his way down, so he'll be here shortly, and then we can start
This is a first here.
drinking stuff. But this is a first this week. It was a difficult time for me.
For you.
And
I think because it's so different from what you're used to.
Yeah.
And you've been singing it for your whole entire life.
Yep, which is teasing it a little bit there, but we definitely went out on a limb here, and we wanted to deliver, and we'll see if we do. I will tell you that I'm not underselling it. This is honestly the first time I'm kind of like about to hear a song that we recorded, and it's 100% because of my performance. And it's you were right. I was all in my head with it. I was getting way
you were getting
too
frustrated.
I
You
was
were
pissed
actually
off.
mad, dude.
I was mad at myself. I was gonna rip my
breaking your
phone in
phone.
half and
You did
everything.
this, you were like-
I did God, anger smash. I went,
But all super slow.
yeah,
Like,
super slow because I don't actually want to destroy my belongings. But it was it was a little bit of a tribulation there. Now since we're waiting on Zach and we don't want to go into all of our wonderful fun segments before he gets down here, I think we could just jump right into me talking about what our featured artist is going to be.
Okay.
If Zach gets down here before we play it, cool. If not, we'll play it. So our featured artist is me. Now it's a time travel edition of Kyle Moucha Won't Shut Up because I was without power going through not without power. The other day I was without internet. And I was going through my laptop just seeing like what old files I have. Like I've old trivia notes and stuff from years and years ago. And I came across a folder that was just listed demo/EP.
right.
And I opened it up and I'm like, oh, and there's like it said finished lyrics, working lyrics, finished recordings, working recordings, and I was just like, wait, what? And I click on all these folders and I see all these lyrics, like 10, 12 songs worth of lyrics, and then I see the like for like the finished lyrics, and then I go to the recordings part, and there's basically a 5-song EP that is just sitting in this folder that I did not have any recollection of recording whatsoever. So this is about 2012, so about 7 years ago.
Right.
I believe I was just starting to work at the Melting Pot, or maybe I was still working at Garfield's at the time.
Okay.
I was trying to work on music that I was going to send to our friend Zach Van Wy, and we were going to work a little bit of pop punk wonderfulness into the music scene at that time around here. So one of the songs actually has me just talking over it at one point, going, all right, so here we're gonna go real big like the Foo Fighters, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So I find these 5 songs, I listen through to them, and I realized the way that they were recorded was on my laptop. I went through and I played the guitar parts on acoustic guitar, and I recorded them on Windows Media Recorder.
Okay.
So just using the shit microphone that your computer laptop is equipped with in 2011, probably when I got it, and still the same computer. It's almost only a decade old. And so I recorded the guitar parts, and then I would then play that file on the computer through the computer speakers, and then use the computer microphone to record me singing as softly as I could with still being picked up And I remembered once I like listened to it, I went, oh my God, I spent like a whole day trying to figure out the level for each song so I didn't like peek out. And there's one song where I peek out and then the background, the guitar goes all like out of whack.
Yeah.
But when you're listening to the song, which one did I tell you to pull out?
Poison and Free.
Poison and Free. I have no idea who these songs are about, what they are about. I'm trying to remember. I had like dated a chick like maybe like that year or the year earlier that like kind of fucked with my head a little bit, but not for that long. So I was like, did I write a whole EP about this? And I'm looking at the lyrics, no clue who anything's about. Only one song has survived, and it has been changed so drastically. So that's another song that's on there that is going to be on the upcoming album that we're going to be recording. But yeah, so I have I find it. I listened to all 5 songs, and I was like, oh, these aren't really half bad. So I figured that I would have me as the musical guest. And I don't think I hear Zach coming down the stairs just yet. So
he's here.
Oh, he's going down the stairs just now.
But I do have a question.
Yeah.
Do you notice the difference between now and then? I mean, mine is just a recording.
I was playing guitar a lot more back then.
Okay.
And I was trying to. 2012. I'm only like 3-4 years removed from being like in My Steady Backfire. So like I still had more of the punk edge. I hadn't gotten so much into classic rock songs like from my youth again. I hadn't really gotten into anything weird and trippy. Like 2012 is before I really hung out with either of you guys. So that's like the beginning of me knowing you guys. And so
I never even hung out with myself before tonight.
I bet you didn't. And you hung out with yourself a lot upstairs. You guys all know that sound. That means that we are now joined by the wonderful, the miraculous Mr. Zachary Storm. Whoa, damn. Whoa, damn. That barely sounded like you opened it. Sounds like you opened it inside of like a bag that was lined with vinyl or something, and it was just kind of muffled in the background. But yeah, so musically, I was playing guitar a lot more, and I was definitely more bar chording everything, power chorded everything. I hadn't started playing a lot more of the cowboy chords that I kind of gravitate towards now in my individual songwriting. And then
I put slide guitar. Wait to hear the slide guitar.
Oh my God, this is gonna be fucking insane. This is gonna be insane.
All right.
But we so I was definitely playing a different style of what I was. Back then I was just playing a different style, and then I was. Vocally, this isn't a great representation of anything because again I was recording it. So Zach, I don't know if I told you, I basically with these recordings I recorded the guitar on Windows Media Recorder, and then I played the file through the speakers of my laptop, and then recorded off of the same laptop with the microphone while me singing quietly like this and trying to figure it out.
Wait to hear what I did once. Are you gonna play that?
Yeah, we're gonna play that. Yeah, but now you're down
here.
I
gotta find some old shit I had where I had a tape recorder, and I recorded me beating on the lid of like a big like tub that like a big tub like art supplies or whatever.
A tote.
Beating on a tote for drums on a tape machine.
Okay. And
then playing the tape machine back and playing my first guitar with my stupid Zoom pedal and like the really shitty little Randall amp, which is like playing along to that, to multi-track.
Do you still have that?
It's somewhere.
Somewhere?
I put a whole album, because you know me, I'm Mr. High Concept.
Yes, sir.
Did that into
Tonight will
album.
Be more evidence of that.
And some were just me like playing guitar.
Yeah.
Like it was like, I don't know, maybe I was 16. It was like, this is the first recording project I ever did.
Hell yeah, that's Now this, I don't think I had ever actually sat down and recorded myself before this. So it's 2012. I'm 26 years old. It was the first time I had recorded with people. I had been in studio, but never.
This was the first time you were going to take the.
I was going to take completely. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to record myself on guitar and on vocals with nobody else having any input, and let me just see what comes out. So
that's sort of cool though, because you had to be ingenuitous.
Yeah, ingenuitated. Since we're already talking about it, let's screw format. We'll come back and talk about what we're drinking after this. So we're gonna jump right into Poison and Free. Again, don't know what the fuck the song's about or who it's about.
Poison and Free?
Poison and Free is the name of the song. All right, so we will see you guys. It's probably about like 3.5 minutes, something like that. I'm not really sure, but enjoy the quality.
3:17.
It's really, really, really bad.
What did you see when you walked through the bar, staring at me? Was I still the one I thought I knew you had? I can't believe any words you leak. Go, you're poison and free. How'd I become this kid who thought he knew what you had? I can't forget you even though that I should. I can't forgive you even though that I could. If you were drowning, I'd throw you some rope attached to the anchor. Would you even notice with how far you have sunk? I can't forget you even though that I should. I can't forgive you even though that I could. If you were drowning, I'd throw you some rope attached to the anchor. Did you even notice with how far you have sunk? You weren't right, but I wasn't wrong. This was a game for you and I lost. You weren't right, but I wasn't wrong. This was a game for you.
All right, so there you have it. Zach came up with a good idea for what the song's about. It's about going to the bar, going to Floods, and Drew's just giving you free drinks. Could be about that. Could be about that. It was a game for me, or a game for him, and I lost. That's what that.
You got hammered.
I got hammered, and he was like, "Ha ha, give me your money," and I lost. That's what it is. And we were talking also while I was playing the sound of the guitar, because again, it's recorded on a shitty mic, and then played through shitty speakers, and then recorded again through those shitty speakers on the same original shitty mic, and it just gives. That's Keith's Martin I'm playing on. So like that's
wow.
I was playing a Martin, and that does. It sounds like a first act electric guitar plugged straight in clean, and the cheap store supplied crappy. I don't even think they were wound at all strings. They were like half wound strings. They were fucking terrible. But that's what it kind of sounds like. So we're gonna potentially use it, fuck around with it, and
like Rick said, re-record that jam.
Yeah, it's not bad. And luckily, I have all of the original just guitar part recordings, so we can actually reverse engineer this shit. But yeah, everything's kind of more in that vein. So we'll get down the line a couple months and have maybe some demos of the new stuff, and you'll see the progress there. But also, speaking of progress, we need to progress now. Out of order tonight, but that's fine. It's time to drink some beer.
It is a beer. We were just talking about this.
All right, so we are our backup beers, our house beers, as you might say, are still the Schmitz and the Hams from the last couple of weeks because we've just had a shitload of them. But
Yeah.
Justin, we got some hams, yeah. So
during the week.
got
But tonight
we
We're
got
gonna be
Delirium
drunk after this.
Noel. So it's a Belgian ale, family brewery. I'm not pronouncing it since 1654. Now, the thing that I always enjoyed is just straight up the bottle. Like the
Yeah.
bottle itself,
Yeah, no, the bottle's always
I
right.
don't know, is it clay? Is it glass
Feels
just
like
painted over?
It's
like
definitely
I don't
glass
get
painted
it.
over, but it looks like clay.
All right. I'm going to give that a little popper off. What was the last time you had a Delirium, either Tremens or otherwise?
Not in a.
Been a while.
I say I don't generally order them.
Well,
I've
they're
had them.
expensive.
They are.
They're very,
and
very
in a bar,
expensive.
you're getting them, and it's going to be like $9-10 for this bottle.
And it's an award-winning beer. It's a
Yeah.
worldwide.
Now this is 10% alcohol. This is 10%, and this is their Christmas one. I enjoy
will
it.
say,
It has the pink elephant on it,
it's
and
just
we've talked
been,
about that in the past. Ooh, it's foaming at the top.
It's foaming, and I haven't done anything with it. It is a ceramic bottle.
Ooh.
Okay.
No, it's ceramic coated. It's glass, so you can see under it.
Oh yeah, at the top. Yeah, it is just a steady.
It's
if
a
you don't do
coating.
anything, it's just
like-
a steady foam coming out the top.
Yeah.
It's
kinda
like when I
fun.
coated the headers in.
And
Okay.
it's good.
Now I've only tasted the actual head of it so far because it just keeps foaming. So I'm gonna go for a real sip.
Yeah,
All
it's
right,
good. It's good.
that does not taste like it's 10%.
No.
That's why these things. Maybe that's why I like them, and I forget about them because you're just like, oh, this isn't that
Are they
bad.
all high alcohol?
I
Is
think
that why they're
all,
expensive?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
they're all
Okay,
much like
okay.
in the much more in the 9-10% range, and I believe Tremens is more than that.
It's. I will say it's very bitter,
yeah,
but
it does
it's
have a
not
nice
bad beer.
sweetness to it. There's
Yeah.
like almost like a I
Yeah.
don't know if it says any ingredients or anything, but it has kind of almost like I don't know. I want to say cherry, but I don't know if that's the right flavor. But there's some nice sweet, not super
Yeah, it
syrupy.
doesn't say shit about what it actually is.
You know, it's probably fucking all these other Christmas beers.
Yeah.
Want to add all that fig and shit.
Yeah.
This might be some sort of just natural byproduct.
We also have to
of
figure
the
this is
beer.
from Belgium.
Yes.
So what they're normally used to drinking in Belgium during Christmas time is probably more reflected on what's in here.
Yeah.
But I feel like those other beers, they add something to get that texture that this has.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and this isn't overly spiced too. So whatever they're
Nope.
adding, probably to get the mouth feel, must be adding enough of a negative
But
taste
there's
that
like
you
a-
have to add all
A
those
fakeness
spices.
to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
To that, all that.
Yeah. Now
Stuff.
this just honestly, I actually read an article today that kind of ties into this. Drinking one natural, like heavy Belgian style beer a day is just as good for you, if not better, than doing like probiotic fucking yogurt and stuff
Shit,
like
I thought you
that.
were gonna say
Okay.
running.
Yeah, no. Better. Yeah, well, it's better for you than running.
I'll
better for
drink
me than
beer
running.
all day.
But they say obviously drinking in excess is going
Yes.
to damage things. But it does help. It's kind of a supplement then. So if you're trying to be healthy and have one beer, drink 10% Delirium Noel,
I mean,
and then
treat
it doesn't
yourself.
matter
This
that
is
it's
actually
$10 a bottle.
Treat yourself. This is actually a pretty good beer.
I am enjoying it. I think it's good. And something else that I enjoy that Zach does not think is good is when I tell jokes. So, I think it's time to entertain Zachary. What if I just prepare a 20-minute
I was daddy earlier.
Do it for Daddy Kyle.
do it for daddy.
Do it for Daddy Kyle. That's not making this any easier, Zach. All right. You know, if I wanted to really write jokes for Zach, I would start picking more topics that are aimed at him. But
You write a lot of jokes for me.
yeah, I do. All right, so here we go. Disney World came under attack this week when a family of 4 claimed to have been made very ill after eating insect-covered lettuce wraps at one of the many buffets that the resort offers. Disney is fighting the claims, stating it's all part of their new Bugs Life interactive dining. They could do that.
Could.
You're just eating characters from a beloved
totally
film.
could.
Yeah, I've eaten so many bugs.
Seriously. I mean,
Actually,
if I was at
Bugs
Disney
on
and there were
the
bugs
show.
on something, I would not eat it. And that's what Disney's whole claim is. They're like, so you ate it? Like, you saw bugs on it and you ate it still? They're like, we don't think you actually ate it, so this is all bullshit. So they're fighting. They're fighting it. Actually, today is all kind of food-related stuff. It's 'tis the season. McDonald's has announced plans to roll out a fried chicken sandwich in select areas in the South, hoping that adding this option to their vast menu will help with the competition coming from Chick-fil-A and other growing fast food restaurants. Mickey D's is excited to enter the chicken game, but it really sparks the question, what the hell is a McChicken made out of? They literally, the big article headline, they're entering the chicken sandwich game.
Yeah, but it's the high-end chicken sandwich
They
game.
didn't specify that.
But that's the game they're
And
getting.
I am an article headline reader.
I haven't had any of these fancy chicken sandwiches yet.
Have you had any of the
not.
McDonald's fancy burgers that they've been doing over the last
Yes,
couple of years? Like the
yes.
bigger, better burgers. They actually had like
No,
a black and blue.
Dude, I can't help myself. I just
The
get a Big
A1.
Mac
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
I can't
The,
go to McDonald's and not get
I don't
one.
know. They had like a bacon
Yeah.
smokehouse
Which
shit,
is crazy
whatever
because for a
the fuck it
while they
was.
did not have bacon at McDonald's. That was
True.
one thing that you could not get a bacon cheeseburger, which was almost reason enough to go to a Burger King or make your own goddamn cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
I'll
pretty
be
much.
honest, the majority of McDonald's I eat is
Yeah.
breakfast.
Breakfast. I don't.
Not
Yeah,
that I
I
eat
don't
a
know.
lot of
up
McDonald's.
early enough to get there,
Like,
and now
McDonald's
it's all
breakfast.
day, so
All day.
that's how late I'm up.
It's so good.
I used to get the
You can't get
the
the whole
platter
menu all day, though.
I used to get the platter, the one with
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
the scrambled
pancakes
eggs,
and everything.
pancakes,
It was
sausage.
great. It was great. I loved it. I would make my own sandwiches, roll up the pancakes and everything because
You're sick.
And
fuck.
I haven't had them either,
sick
but I
fuck.
agree with you, Rich. They're just chicken sandwiches. Here's
Yeah.
all the same shit.
all the same shit. It's literally the same.
I'll make a fucking chicken
You
sandwich.
know what? You know who made the
that'll
ultimate
blow your
chicken
socks
sandwich
off.
that I never had either?
Who?
Was fucking KFC, where it was chicken as the fucking bread.
Oh yeah, where it was
I've
chicken
made that,
patty,
like, homemade
cheese,
that.
Yeah.
and bacon, and some
And then
sauce,
another
and then
piece
chicken.
of chicken.
Yeah. They were smart on that.
Yeah.
All right. Final joke here. Final joke. A New York subway was turned into a feast hall by a team of chefs on Thanksgiving.
Grivery.
Grivery.
Delirium, Noel. All right. They were offering free food to all the travelers on the train. Dozens of people enjoyed the offerings that included delicious macaroni and cheese, mashed potatoes, and turkey. But the real winner at the table was the corajo, which is a cockroach inside of a rat inside of a homeless person. You just baste it with butter.
Oh my God.
And put it on a spigot and spin it. You gotta wake up at like 4 a.m.
Baste your daddy in butter.
Baste your daddy
And
in
is that
butter.
is that what it was called,
The
Rich?
double down.
The double down?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Because you were doubling down on that heart attack. You were definitely gonna have.
Yeah.
You were definitely gonna have a heart attack. All right. So again, we're out of order tonight, but fuck
I'm
yeah.
definitely gonna have a heart attack one day.
Ooh.
Jesus.
Hey, you could get killed by something else first.
You
could
can
always
survive a heart attack, dude.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying before you get to the surviving of a heart attack, you could just like fall down an open shaft at a hotel one day. You know, you could like go to think you're getting in the elevator.
I could fall on my shaft.
You could fall on your shaft
and break it,
and then just
and
kill
then
yourself.
have to kill myself.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
the samurai's way. If you break your wiener, you just kill yourself. All right, so again, a little bit out of order tonight, but we are now going to start talking about our Brunch Weekly original single. We teased a little bit, or a lot of it earlier. It is something we've never done before. We actually mentioned that we might do it in the last week's episode. But we, for the first time ever here on Kyle Moucha Won't Shut Up, our Brunch Weekly original single is technically a cover.
It is a cover.
It is technically a cover, and it is a cover of probably one of the most well-known Christmas songs, but like ones that you don't really know the words
Jingle
to.
Bells.
Yeah, it's Jingle Bells. No. So,
12 Days of Christmas.
Dingle dong bells.
do you not remember what we did, Justin?
I have no idea
12
what's
Days
going
of
on. Where
Christmas
am
would
I
have been
right
terrible.
now, dude?
It would have been terrible. That's so way too
Yeah.
many words. I used to do that in like chorus, like in like 4th through like
Yeah,
10th grade.
I'm saying the whole
How
thing.
many times? And it's just like, come on, nobody in the audience is enjoying this. Maybe the first 5 years that song existed and there wasn't the internet and it was just traveling by way of choir. People were like, oh, what's going to happen when we get
But
to
dude,
one?
did
Now,
you
was
ever
that a
see
choir thing? They definitely did that in choir.
Yeah.
You ever
Oh,
seen
course
the
they
Taking
did.
Back Sundays version of that?
Yes, I have.
I did. That was a good one.
See,
It's
I like
good,
the
but
Twisted
still-
Christmas version better.
Come on, just it's too
Well,
long of a
what?
song.
Twisted Christmas?
Just do the 4 days of
Or
Christmas.
what's the one where he goes, raking up
That's
the
not.
lights?
That's the Twisted Christmas one.
Oh
Okay.
my god. Oh my god. Yeah, no, it's just
5 months of bills.
okay. If they change the lyrics, sure, but the straight cover of it or the straight performance of the original song, it's so like antiquated. It's so dated. Like
Five
yeah.
cock rings.
Maids a milkin', man. Maids a milkin'. Wink, wink,
Well, all
nudge,
right,
nudge.
you've sealed it.
Yeah.
Next year on Christmas 3,
Oh, no.
expect the 12 fucking days of Christmas, baby.
And we're gonna do the traditional one. All right. Can we make
Our
sure
12 Days of
that it's
Christmas?
in a key that I can properly sing it in?
No, we're gonna do our own
All right,
12 days
shit.
of Christmas.
Okay,
it's what-
okay, I'm down with that.
It's what we would actually receive on
Yeah.
Christmas.
Oh no! And then we have to get each other all the 12 things. Film a music video for it. All right, so this week we did a cover song. We did a cover of the classic. I think it's from like 1857 when I was looking it up.
I don't remember.
And
I don't know.
it's from William. It originated in Williamsburg,
I
Pennsylvania.
think you say in William H. Macy.
In William H. Macy's basement
William H.
torture
Macy.
chamber. No, so it's technically a local song, but We Three Kings. It's also known as We Three Kings of Orient, We Three Kings of Orient are, The Gifts of the Magi, a bunch of different ways that it's known. But we just did the traditional We Three Kings. Now,
We
Zach,
did a really Jesus-y one. That's what
we
we
did.
picked.
Lyrically, you can't avoid the Jesus-y-ness of it because
Yeah.
the song is about going to meet Jesus.
Yeah.
And you think he's the King of Kings, so you are giving him presents.
Yes.
So, like, you can't avoid that. And he's, you know, in the lyrics, it's, you know, he is God, he is risen, or not he is risen. That's the fucking other holiday. But you know, it's all of that shit. So you can't avoid it. We could have changed the lyrics, but what we did lyrically is we kept them all the same. But then I made one verse that was kind of abridged of the other 3 that we were skipping over because we didn't want to make it too long of a song. So
What is this? 18 weeks, right?
18 weeks long, the song. So Zach, what was the musical influence behind this? What genre are we looking at? What were you listening to, or what pulled you into wanting to make it this cover the way that we did?
Well, I wanted to do like a doomy Sabbath.
Okay.
We did a lot of heavy vocals recently. I wanted to do not heavy vocals.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And when
I
you
mean, they're you know, fucking new Cosmic Skull albums
Yeah.
out. I've been listening to that about 37 times.
And then-
Dude, I listened to the first track on that, and you're completely right. It's like your favorite intro to
say
any theme.
I've not actually really listened
Dude,
much
it
to
is
that.
It is
so
a theme
fucking
song.
good.
But you also sent
Television
us
theme
the
song,
the band
Green Lung.
Green
that
Lung.
band too I've been listening to a
Yeah.
lot of.
I listened to a couple of their songs, and so I definitely see that you're kind of getting that, because that sounds like, I mean, I'm not a big Ozzy or Sabbath person, but immediately my response was, this just sounds like Ozzy Sabbath.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking phenomenal. It's really fun. So you were listening to that.
And you know,
now-
we had to do a heavy Christmas song.
Yeah.
But we sort of just came off a whole bunch of death metal. So we had to just do something that
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
death metal.
And going not death metal, what would you pick a genre to shove this into at all? Is there anything that you would it just be like a
I would just say this is a rock song.
A rock song. There you go. Now, Justin, as far as getting behind the kit and laying down the drums, now this song's in 6/8, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's in 6/8. How did that present any challenges, or was it
I mean, it
kinda,
was just a natural
once you got
groove.
it, you got it?
Yeah. Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, I would say this wasn't a one-take thing, but it was
It was-
pretty
it was-
quick.
Definitely more fucking up at the start,
Yeah.
waiting for a 6 count. You know what I mean? Like, think you got it. I'm like, oh fuck it.
Yeah, well, because you go and you get to 6 and you go on 6.
Yeah.
Because you think, okay, 6 count. All right,
Yeah.
I counted to 6. Now I go.
But it's weirder than counting to 3 twice.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 now.
Yeah.
A little bit different.
Yeah.
Now I will say, and I already kind of alluded to it earlier. This is the first time that we are going to be playing a song where I am tepid, I guess, for my performance only. I did hear Zach working on it up there. Basically, what we did is, Zach, you found the chords of the George Strait version.
I never heard.
And you never listened to his
it.
version, but you took it as gospel. We'll just keep it in the Jesus vein.
Well, I just put it in that key because I looked up the chords for it quickly.
And it made sense when you're humming along to it.
It was in E minor, which is like, pretty Shabbathian.
Yes, it is.
Or whatever you know what I mean? Or the E flat minor. Whatever you tune your lowest. It was in the key of my lowest string because I tuned standard. So it was like, you could get a nice heavy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of drone on that low open E.
Now, you went with his style, his format. You pretty much followed the...
No, just his...
Just
his chords. I didn't hear his song at all.
But the format of it.
Yeah, so we had extra long verses.
So at one point we're going to... And I would have had 6 fucking verses, and I was like, oh no. So this is all the preamble to me actually getting up to the microphone and trying to sing. And in the key that it's in, I naturally just went low because I know in the chorus how high it goes. And I'm like singing it, and it's like low, not operatic, just like low. And I knew that it wasn't the tone I wanted to go for. It wasn't the sound I really wanted to go for with it. But I was just trying to find it. And then I went, all right, I'm going to try something, and it's going to be wrong. And I went, and after like literally like half of the first like line of the first verse, I was like, okay, there it is.
Yeah.
I figured it out. And then I figured out that I cannot hit some of these notes. And I tried, and I tried, and I tried. And Zach's a magician. I'll just say that. Zach is a magician.
Well, these songs are about learning, too,
yes,
Like,
definitely.
If none of this shit is perfect, none of this shit we're putting out, we're like, this is, we did this song
But also,
in a
it
day.
being the first time that we've done a cover and taking something that was a classical song and transposed by George Strait and then retransposed by Zach, going up to the mic, not knowing, like, thinking in my head.
Made it weird.
Oh, we made it really weird. But thinking in my head, okay, I'm just going to sing the song I've been singing at church my whole life.
Yeah.
And at one point, Zach looks at me and just goes, sorry, Kyle, you thought you were going to knock this out of the park, didn't you? You thought you had this one.
And at that point, I could tell you were fucking...
Oh, I was just like, God damn it, I know I can do this. Why can't I? And that's
you
what
were
I was...
getting red in the face.
Oh, I was getting red. We were saying before, Justin was like, you were like
slow
fake
breaking
your phone.
Yeah.
And so... I will say that the last I heard when I walked downstairs 15 minutes before airtime, it was way fucking better than what I actually did. So all credit really to Zach on that. I mean, all credit to Zach on most of these things, and you on drums. I always kind of feel like I'm just like, oh, I can sing, so I can do it. So like I can jump in. But today was like, oh fuck yeah, no.
We've all hit that point.
Yeah,
we've had those issues.
Those issues. I mean, you've had it where you're literally
beating the shit out of my
drums.
drums, and Zach comes in all pissed off, like, "Why are you beating on your drums?" I'm like, "I had to for a second, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I literally had to fucking." Because
the
I was
bad
doing
thing
the
is in that
same
moment,
thing
I wanna-
over and over. I had to break
in
that
that moment, I
cycle
wanted
in my
to
head.
scream, but I know that that's actually working against me in the
I
long run
don't
if I
know.
scream.
Like when playing.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had that moment of that.
No, you
anger
get.
Yeah,
You
but
get,
see the difference.
Fuck,
Yeah,
fuck, and you just keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going until you get it.
Yeah, I'm like
But
obsessive
the difference
with it.
is you have had it late. Like, even if you haven't written, when you sit down to start writing it as it comes together, you've pretty much had this idea in your head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
and
then
you know
we
where you're
have
trying to
to
get to.
So then we have to figure out where you're at, sort
Yeah.
of, but also,
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
our own twist on it.
So when you're going
And you're
fuck,
like,
fuck, fuck, it's because you had this thing in your head that you've been trying to get out for me, I'm up there and I'm going, oh, I thought I had this figured out from sitting here listening to what you were doing, and I got up here and everything that I know naturally I can do just exited my brain. And it's just like a complete drop of like, okay, fuck, and you kind of want to hit your head against the wall a little bit there.
Like, you know, the one time when it was 3/4 and you're like, it's just 3/4, like, you know, and you're like fucking airing it, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I see that, but my brain is just like, nope.
We're on the spectrum in that area for some reason. There's just something. There's like a little click. There's a little glitch off for me when I'm just like bad at something. I'm just kind of like, all right, I need a total reset right now. Because usually I just do things that I'm naturally good at, which is why I do a show where I talk. So what is the length that we came in
10:14.
10:14. Now this is not breaking any records overall, but this is officially the longest song of this season. Yes. And it most likely will be the longest song.
Yeah.
I know James had said he has some interesting ideas for what he wants to do when he's on next week. He wants to be a part of the writing process for that, so we're just gonna we're gonna talk to him and see exactly what we're doing there, and then we do have plans to maybe redo another song in the future. So the piece of shit, no, just a wonderful man, mean Mark, a terribly wonderful, mean old man.
Mean man.
But he, we love you. But we'll be doing a couple of different things over the next couple of weeks, but this is gonna hold it down as the longest song. Now imagine if we had done the 6 verses that we were gonna do at one point. It's been like a 14-minute song. It would have been amazing.
Yeah.
But now you're just gonna have to settle for a 10-minute song. So without any more delay, let's jump right in to We Three Kings in the style of Brunch.
Yes.
All right, there you go, guys. That is the Brunch with the original, not so original single. That is our cover of We Three Kings. Now, something that, I mean, I just missed, and I didn't realize how much I missed it until just now, from season 2, which we're getting into. It's winter time, guys. It's winter. It's getting darker. It's getting colder. It's getting snowier. We've got a lot more time to spend listening to music, so I think that kind of is like almost the back doorway into why we generally write really long songs. A, it's long, but B, at least a minute and a half of it is what some people might say unnecessary, but I think very, very necessary. And that was like a big trope.
That was an edited drum track, right?
Yeah.
No, it was your drums in the verses.
Okay.
Pitch shifted up 18 steps.
Okay.
And it's just like when you digitally pitch shift something that far, it gets all wonky and weird, you know?
Yeah.
Well, you at one point
when you pitch
said that was the best thing you had ever written. You
Dude,
were the best thing I've ever done, and I was like, that's insulting to everything we've ever done.
Dude, I like that beat at the end. It was just so sick.
Oh, it's great. No,
well,
it's phenomenal.
like, cause I love shit like Aphex Twin.
Yeah.
And like Boards of Canada, like electronic bands, and even like some Daft Punk is like this, like that. It's like an organic sort of electronic sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's beeps and boops, but it's like some sort of analog.
Analog beeps and boops.
Yeah, you know what I mean? There's like a feel to like that shit that's like...
You've never listened to the original...
You've never heard We Three Kings?
And thank you, by the way.
Thank you very much, but wow. You went to no church, didn't you?
Who?
Richard's never heard We Three Kings. Yeah, it's a classic again, written mid 1800s, performed all the time this time of the year at churches left and right.
Dude.
And
this is like the original.
wait, what
We
original?
Three Kings of Orient.
Can you hear it right now?
It sounds like it's like the Dragonborn song.
Yeah.
Skyrim.
Oh yeah.
You've
You've referenced that before. I get what we're talking about. Weird.
Oh, hearing this guy sing it.
This is a
Oh, we
lady.
could have done it.
This is a lady.
Who is this? Patsy
Coheed
Cline?
and Cambria.
Could be. Coheed would do a great version of
Dude,
this.
we already can't
Wait, who is it?
do this.
Jennifer Avalon.
Never heard of her.
Although,
Never heard of her.
honestly, after we did eventually listen to the George Strait version.
Yes.
And the chord shit I had at the top said, the only version of this song worth listening to. And after I heard the George Strait version, it's sort of super good.
It is pretty
Yeah,
good from
it
what,
is
from
pretty
what I
good.
listened to.
Super duper.
But the only way I really know that song is by me,
church
my
is where I know it,
brothers,
yeah.
and my sisters being in church for Christmas Eve, and we would always, like Keith and I especially, Craig, Kim, like certain siblings that would enjoy doing this. We would just try to out-sing everybody at church, like obnoxious. One night a year. Like, at regular church, you just kind of sing along and, you know, you go through the hymnals and all that. But on Christmas Eve, it was like when Kurt, my brother Kurt, married his wife Lynette, and she and the two of them are amazing vocalists. And they came to church and she started harmonizing, like, good harmonies. Like, maybe actually just reading the harmonies that were written in there.
Right.
And then all of us were like, oh, this is amazing. Someone that's doing it, like, really well. And then we just all started imitating her. And it's just been a thing. If I go to church on Christmas Eve, I am trying to out-sing. I am trying to outperform everybody. Because it's the day of the year that the most people just filter into church just because they got to get there one day a year, maybe two if they're going on Easter.
It's the only day I go to church a year.
And I haven't done that in a couple of years. I haven't done it in a while.
How am I the one who's been to church more often than you, Kyle?
By me just very strongly avoiding it. The last church I was
do
at
it for my mom for Christmas. You know, it's like part of my Christmas gift.
I usually would go with my parents to do that, but usually I've been working. Like last, probably 4 or 5 years on Christmas Eve, I've either been working or had somewhere else.
You should come to Christmas Eve with us because we get fucking drunk before church.
Yeah, and then you play the penis game. You didn't last year. I remember last year. Last year, no. I forget what happened. We gotta listen back to that episode. But you told the story about your mom was just already really mad at you guys or something like that, so you just did not play the penis game last year at Christmas Eve service.
If it's Christmas Eve, chances are my mom is mad at us because me and Nate got the old man too drunk.
Dickhead. Oh, dickhead, not penis.
Dickhead, it was the
dickhead.
game,
Yeah.
But
same game as the penis game, just a different word. Harder to say dickhead. I'll give you that. It's harder to say. Yeah. I mean, it's just as easy as any word is to speak, but I'm just saying, like, in church, you might be able to get penis. Dickhead has a hard D at both sides.
Yes.
Dickhead. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna be back next week and the week after with our final 2 installments into our Christmas 2 album. So stay tuned for that.
We're gonna do I guess Bitchin' Christmas and then whatever James wants.
Yeah,
to do.
Bitchin' Christmas and then James has something up his sleeve that he wants to throw at us. So we're gonna jump in with that.
Yeah.
But Bitchin' Christmas take 2 will be happening.
Yeah.
We're gonna not only cover a song this season, we're going to re-record one of our other Brunch Weekly original singles. Now, today, since we do not have a guest in studio, as I generally do, I go, what do you guys want to talk about this week? 'Cause, I don't know. Yeah. And Zach threw at The Mandalorian. Now, we're going to talk about The Mandalorian. Justin, though,
we can talk about it. I'm going to watch it
all the way up to date.
Oh, my God.
We can talk about it. I will
he is not. He's okay.
What are you doing with your life?
Here's the thing. When he said that he had to catch up, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that episode just came out. Justin has seen the first episode.
Oh, God.
So he's only seen this first episode. So I will say from here on in this episode, if you are planning to watch The Mandalorian and you have not watched The Mandalorian, do not listen to the rest of this episode if you don't want to be spoiled.
Exactly.
And if you don't care, stay listening. What I want to start with then is the first episode. Immediately, I think it had a lot going for it. Disney has been putting out a lot of Star Wars stuff.
Sure.
But because of that, it had so much going against it because a lot of that stuff has not been well received by the fans. Favreau is he's not even the showrunner, he's the creator and writer of it. Mm-hmm. There has been a different director for every single episode. He has not directed any episodes, but he is there instilling the heart and soul and justice. Well, really, he is. He's giving justice and
avengeness.
A lot of people that are fans of Star Wars that
he's been doing it with Marvel. So
well, I mean, he set up Marvel. He set it up with Iron Man. Like he directed Iron Man. He put his swingers style of writing into that first script. It's a great movie. And that comedy and that level of just feeling personally connected to
There's actually
a character.
one scene, anytime that I see Kyle Schumann, it's just the one scene about the pizza delivery boy.
Okay.
He always quotes it.
I don't remember that specifically.
It's just basically like Favreau's playing like video games or something, and he's like fucking with the dude that's going to answer the door. And he's just like fucking laying into him, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. But that scene, it's just like one of those things that...
But he did a great job with Iron Man, and because of him, we have the cinematic universe that is Marvel today. It would not be the same. It would not be anything that it is without him. So giving him the first Star Wars TV series to be sanctioned under Disney, and really besides the cartoons, first live action besides the cartoons, but I don't think Disney has done a new cartoon since they've taken over.
Rebels.
Oh, Rebels has been since then. Okay, all right.
I think Rebels is still ongoing, ain't it?
I'm not sure. That's one thing. I do not have a large knowledge of the the animated universe of Star Wars. I've seen some of Clone Wars, but not all of it. It is something that I definitely need to get back and rewatch or watch really
watch the
fully.
animated or the CG Clone Wars? There's two different ones.
I've never watched any of them.
They're
thought you
cool.
said you
I
probably-
really.
I've seen a few, but I've never like watched it all the way through.
I
I'm pretty
enjoy
sure
the
it's the
Clone Wars
CG
stuff.
one, not the animated.
Yeah,
one,
there
from
was
what I
like the
saw.
original one
Yeah.
looked more cartoony,
Yeah.
and then they did like a.
Yeah, the
stylized-
ones. Yeah, the more stylized like the cartoon, but you can tell it's definitely more
Computer
computer. Yeah. So I've seen, but literally that's like my nephew had it on, and I was in the room and it was playing, and I.
You ever watch Teen Titans?
Nope. Yeah, another.
It's sort of like that.
The
you know what I mean?
original, animated looking
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
Looked like Teen Titans.
I'll say not the CW
Not Teen
show
Titans
or
Go,
whatever
though.
they're
That
trying to
shit
do.
sucks.
No.
Well, they're doing a live action Teen Titans, or just called Titans, I think,
Yeah, they're
or something
doing
like that.
Titans,
Yeah. But either way, so I with Favreau taking over and setting up this section of the Star Wars universe with The Mandalorian, I had a lot of high hopes going into the first episode. I thought that he was going to really instill that humor. It was going to feel more like Han Solo's style dialogue.
My problem with the first episode is this Nick Nolte fucking part, dude. I did not like. Whatever.
All right.
I just couldn't get it.
You're a minority, I think, in that because he's a great character. But
I'm just saying,
I think they set up. They set it up.
The Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte is the I have spoken.
I've spoken.
That's Nick Nolte.
That's Nick Nolte. Yeah.
I didn't
So
know it.
I will say that.
Yeah, but you got to see the second episode.
you got to
That
keep
guy's
watching.
so
You got to
cool.
keep watching.
I'm just saying, based on the first episode, that was my.
I would say based
one
on the
thing.
first episode, my immediate reaction after watching it was they did put a good amount of humor in there, but they set up visually in a way that took me back more to the original trilogy.
Sure.
He has a lot more long, pulled back shots.
And they're using a lot of live.
There's a lot
props.
of not talking for long
Yep.
shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, second episode, I think you literally go 10 minutes without any actual dialogue in.
You know,
in-
I think the thing
the
I
episode.
liked the most about it after watching the first 4 episodes is that it is not. I thought it was going to be one of these. I'm calling them high dramas, but whatever, like Game of Thrones.
that
or-
works in a bunch of subtext to it.
But no, that's like the way the story is told. Like, and if you miss 1 second of one episode,
yeah.
like this is going back to, and they said that they're making a western, like western samurai, or if you take western samurai shit, like the best '90s anime, like
Okay, yeah.
Cowboy Bebop and shit like that. Like, it's a self-contained story. And I also really felt it's like all those old things, but it's made for people who grew up playing video games, RPGs in specifically.
Yeah, I can definitely see the
because
feeling
the
of like
way the
kind of like
story is
they could do a Red
unfolding-
Dead with Mandalorian. Like they could set that up where it's like you are the Mandalorian.
Yeah, well,
and
if you
you're
look at this,
traversing the world.
the way that
Yeah.
the story
The
of every
worlds.
episode unfolds, it feels like the way a video game
Well, that's what
quest
they're
is
saying.
written in like
Okay.
it's Skyrim, Fallout.
Well, they're saying the
that
new
kinda
Star
game.
Wars game has one of the best stories in the universe. to
Is that
date.
a specific timeline that they're jumping in on that one? Do you know?
I'll tell you. Just give me a second.
Yeah. Well, I will say, just getting back to the first episode of The Mandalorian, the humor, great. The writing, everything that Favreau could bring to it was amazing. Visually, it is just like I was saying. It's just as stunning as the originals. But one of the things that really, really helps it out is they go practical on as many effects
practical
as
effects
humanly
are the
possible.
best.
And the Nick Nolte
Yeah.
character, while if you don't like the actual portrayal of the character, visually, you
Yeah,
gotta
no,
have
yeah,
respect
I
for
give
the
them-
fact that they went, oh, we could have just had a CG dude on the back of this
What was
weird
it?
fucking thing.
Blarg?
I forget what his name is.
No. What the fucking things that they were writing?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, something like that.
But I mean, that is a lot of
Yeah.
throwbacks to things in like.
Dude, I love that
comics.
the Jawas.
Yeah.
Oh man, they're so fucking
Yeah,
cool.
you didn't see. So in the second episode, you
The
get
way
to
they
see the
talk to each other?
Jawas return, and it's literally the exact same style of Jawa.
From A New Hope.
Their vehicle, the big vehicle that they're in.
But like, cause they're all practical and they're like just like I don't know if they're midgets or kids, just like short people running around in the fucking hood. But their eyes are like redder now. It's cool.
But then that shot also, there's a great shot in that second episode where the Mandalorian basically recreates a scene from Indiana Jones where he's stuck on the side of the Jawa's vessel and they're heading towards like a rocky side of a mountain, and he's stuck and he's just got like barely enough time to get back on top on the side, and he just flips right over. And that's one of the things that I think it's cool that they're doing throwbacks like that to people that were involved with like Lucas and everything.
Sure.
But it just, even if you don't realize it's a reference, that is just a dramatic, wonderful scene, and they build it up. They really build up to it. And again, the lack of dialogue in that episode specifically really added to the ambiance and to the feel. But right off the bat, they go in the first episode to a cantina style of place, and it feels on the vein of Mos Eisley.
I was happy to see that they didn't stray from violence.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like the dude got
right off the bat,
lower body.
Right off the bat.
I mean, you don't see it.
Yeah,
you see.
A lot of people get shot.
Yeah.
Yep.
In episode 3.
Yep. Oh yeah.
A lot of people
get shot.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
It's wild.
So Jedi Fallen Order takes place.
Fallen Order.
What the fuck was it? Sometime after Order 66, but before the events of Rogue One, 19 years after Episode 6. Or Episode 4, sorry.
19 years after Episode 3, you mean?
4.
19 years after A New Hope.
Yep.
Oh, okay, jeez.
So it's happening while...
Well, if it takes place after New Hope, it can't take place before Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One happens before A New Hope.
That's what I'm just saying here.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's
Rogue One happens before New Hope.
It's literally ends
those are
at
the
the
plans
Order
beginning.
66 takes place in the year 19 BBY.
Yeah.
Which is Battle Before Yavin. Episode 4 takes place on year 0.
Yeah, I'm confused by all
19 years after A New Hope.
I think it's 19 years
No,
before A New Hope.
Maybe.
19
Yeah.
years after Order 66 is
It
when
doesn't
he
say that it
when he
goes-
kills the
I
children.
guess
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, it's
Oh,
between...
Battle Before Yavin. Yeah,
Okay,
so
there you
19
go.
years before.
Before. Okay, I was going to say, yeah, that was not adding up.
Yeah, okay.
Now,
So it's the beginning of the Empire.
So Justin, with having all these seen the first episode, the last thing that you got to see was who the
Baby
target
Yoda.
was.
Yeah.
And it's a Baby Yoda. Now, that is what everyone's calling it, Baby Yoda, because we do not know Yoda's...
Mandalorian takes place
after episode 6. So it is after 6.
After 6,
Yoda
right.
is dead.
Yes.
Yaddle is dead. There are no other known living canon characters that are from that
Yeah, it's 50
race.
years. It's 50 years after.
Well, he's 50 years old. He's 50 years old. I wasn't sure if they gave an exact timeline for when Mandalorian
So, but I
was
mean,
taken.
but is Mandalorian taking place? I feel like it's gonna have
Some effect on the new movie
on the
coming
movie
out?
that it's taking place in the same time period as the
Well,
new
that's what
movie.
I was going to assume that the...
Yeah, Yoda would have still been alive, though.
It's not... No, Yoda dies at the end of
Yoda
6.
dies at the end.
I
no,
know, but what everybody is
Mandalorian.
saying...
The beginning of
Yes,
6.
everybody is saying that...
He would have been
Yoda would
alive when the
technically still be
baby
alive.
was born.
Yes.
But Mandalorian is taking place after Yoda's death.
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
So the baby, people have thrown out the theory that it is Yoda himself. But that would not make sense because he would have been alive at that point. The theory that I really liked that I heard is that there's always a balance to the Force. And if you look at when Anakin was born and the time frame to where he would be right after he died, he was probably about 50 years old, maybe a little bit less. I mean, the original character looked much older, but if you look at the timeline, he's probably mid-40s. So this Yoda baby could be the Force bringing to life an opposite of Anakin. And so that this could be the balance in that way. It's a very thrown together kind of hacky idea, I think, but it does make a little bit of a sense if there's always if one's born and one's coming out, there's that. There are people that have thrown out that Yoda and Yaddle had a baby, and this is the baby, and they had to keep it hidden because of Jedi
That is true, because
rules.
she leaves the council at one point.
She leaves the council. I believe she
she
is
is-
killed in the room when the council gets kind of
Probably.
attacked. But those are the only two characters you've ever seen from this species. I think a lot of people are going to be pissed off if they actually name the baby at any point because it's not going to be
I like
Yoda.
that they don't. They're in the 4 episodes so far. No one has even asked about a name.
Mandalorian
the real question
And the
is
Mandalorian
everybody.
is just
Mando.
or the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
There's no.
Everybody is just waiting to fucking find out if it's going to talk like Yoda.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Does
Well,
it
yeah,
talk like Yoda?
without being educated by another of his species, does he talk backwards?
Well, did she talk backwards?
I don't remember. I don't know.
remember
I
either.
think she maybe had one
don't remember.
line in
this
the
takes
entire
5
thing.
years after. Oh wait,
Mandalorian?
it says
5 years after the...
Mandalorian is after Yoda's death. He passed away at the beginning of the film in Dagobah.
Yeah.
Star Wars timeline, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, it's
and
after Return
Yoda's
of the Jedi.
death
Yeah, Mark's in
happened
the
at
chat there,
4
bro.
ABY after Battle of Yavin. The Mandalorian, meanwhile, takes place at 9 ABY.
Okay. So, yeah, we've established it. It is after Yoda is dead, so that makes it after Return of the Jedi. But, so Justin, having only seen the first episode, what are your thoughts on what did you like? What did you? You already said
Order
the Nick Nolte.
66, yeah.
What was basically what was your first impression of that episode, and what have you been like kind of hoping will come from this show?
No, I do want to. Like, I was excited to watch the first episode. Still excited to get into it and watch it. That's why I was like, we can talk about it because I'm going to watch it anyway.
Yeah, no matter what, you'll watch
I'm
it.
going to watch it. I'm a Star Wars fan. I love the universe. I mean, some of the movies are disappointing and shit. Rogue One was amazing. I was sort of hoping that Solo did better. So
Yeah,
that
I
we
didn't like
started
Solo.
seeing-
I want a Darth Maul movie.
I
Dude,
definitely
spoiler
did.
alert.
More Darth Maul, and
But
then
you know what? If this
he
does
could be
well,
in the new one.
if this does well, they can just do it as series.
Yep. Well,
Really.
and I like that. That's the thought that you kind of got to there because
Oh,
I
Mark
think,
is watching. That's crazy.
hello, Mark Miller. They are doing a great service right now to the future of the Star Wars extended universe with this show because they're not only setting it up and bringing it back to the feel of the
but now
original
you can
series.
use other things that are referenced within it.
Exactly. You can just go anywhere with this now. And as long as you don't turn into some like UPN bullshit like hacky show
Sure.
and keep good showrunners in control of what is happening.
I mean,
and
it's Disney at this
Disney,
point. I don't
Mickey
see
Mouse
it.
is not going to let some shit come out of their factory.
No.
They're not going to let it happen. So, yeah, I'm really excited
Maybe that's
for
why they
what
shut
this
down the other
means
movies, 'cause they were just shit. They
Well,
could have been
they've
just
talked
shit.
about the Obi-Wan movie could potentially now wind up being a series already.
Sure.
So, fucking...
I would even take miniseries.
I'd
of
rather
like
see a
5
miniseries.
episodes,
Exactly.
fucking
I'd rather
series.
take you and McGregor back and bang him in a dumpster.
And last week we established that behind every dumpster there is Zach. This is an ongoing theme with you. I like it. So you enjoyed the first episode. You're excited to look forward.
Yeah.
All right. So Zach, now that you're fully up to date. Last episode, everything you've watched, everything up to what has been released. Without giving away too much, what is your impression of the show at 4 episodes overall, and what are you hoping comes of this? Because I don't know, maybe it's 10 episodes. I'm not sure exactly how many episodes.
I hope it's episodes are short. The episodes are like watching anime.
Yeah,
They're
it's
anime
literally
long.
like 28 minutes long
Yeah.
tops. Yeah.
So maybe I'm hoping they can do like some of my favorite animes of all time.
Okay.
Do 26 episodes
Yeah.
and call it quits.
All right.
I think the best thing that this show could do
Short run.
would give
I
us.
think they're doing 8 episodes.
8 episodes. Okay. Which would lead us right up until right before the
December
new movie comes
27th.
out.
That's fine. They can.
One episode comes out after. Oh, actually, 2 come out after.
And
Well, I
all
hope
of them were
I
written
hope
by
it's more than
Favreau,
just 8.
except
Okay.
for 2.
But I hope that they just do it. They just do it and do every episode, because every episode so far has been pretty cool.
Exactly. It's been
And
phenomenal.
tell a story. It reminds me like Bebop or Samurai Champloo. They were influenced by the old samurai movies and the Western shit.
Yeah.
And that's what this is. It's a Western samurai, space Western. Or even like Firefly. People complain that it got canceled, but you know what?
Firefly's-
It is awesome. just the way
Was
it
it
is.
Exactly.
one season, 2 seasons?
One season.
One season and a
One
movie?
season and a movie.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
But the
Because
movie didn't come
that's
out
all that
till way
Cowboy
after.
Bebop is. That's all that a lot of these great classic animes
Yeah.
to me are. Not that a billion episodes, or you want to do Game of Thrones, where it's gone on so long, people are so used to having it in their life that they can't end it, and they just
Yeah, no matter
Well,
how
it's-
they
it's
end
The
it, it's going to
Walking
get
Dead.
they
shit
It's
on.
just
Yeah.
cut
The
it.
Walking
Yeah,
Dead at
this
it's
point.
the problem with The Walking Dead. Just
Is there
fucking-
irony in the fact that The Walking Dead became a show that is pretty much a Walking Dead show? Like, it is literally, it can't end,
It can't end.
but it has to end.
Yeah.
No, cut it early.
Just kill them all
and
already.
just
Jesus,
do,
we know they're dead.
give us, put your all into every episode, and even if there's only fucking 12 episodes ever, I'd rather have 12 awesome episodes I can watch over and over and over again.
Then 50 episodes where the last half are all diluted pieces
or
of
then
shit.
not wanting to finish a show.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of shows that I've started, things that are long, like Sons of Anarchy. You know what I mean?
you
Shit
get
was
season
7,
3 and you're like,
there's
come
so-
on, I
and
got
it's just
4
like-
more
That's
of
happened to me
these.
at Weeds and fucking.
Yeah, Weeds I started
I did
probably
watch that
twice.
too,
Breaking
yeah.
Bad, same fucking thing. Walking Dead, same thing.
Say
like-
Breaking Bad, I joined right at the end, which is the only way I think I was able to actually get through. I would have watched it, but it would have taken me a while to get back
I mean,
to
you were
it.
late coming out in Game of Thrones too.
Game of Thrones, yeah. I mean, most shows
I was late, too.
generally wait until there's 3 or 4, like an epic storyline like that I know is supposed to have this big overarching thing, and it's not just one-off episodes. I will watch that 4 years down the road when I can watch it all at
Yeah,
once
yeah.
because I just, even before the idea of binging, that's generally how I enjoyed watching things.
Yeah.
Was, oh, it's all available. I can just watch the whole thing straight through the way that they would hope somebody would at one point.
But if they can
Having
make The
Firefly
Mandalorian
movie-
as
yeah,
good as
exactly.
Cowboy Bebop,
Yeah.
which is...
I think they're making a live action movie or a live action series of that. You know,
For
that,
Cowboy
right?
Bebop?
Yeah.
They're doing
Make
a
it
live
live
action? Oh, damn.
See, it doesn't need that. Cowboy Bebop doesn't need anything.
It's good as it is.
It's just it is the 26 episodes. That's it. I could watch it over and over again.
Yeah.
I could watch any. You could put on any episode of that show, and I could enjoy watching it. That's what I hope they do with the
Yeah.
Mandalorian. That they don't fucking milk it for all it's worth. They just give us.
It's a Netflix series.
For the Bebop?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And it's John Cho's in it. Harold
Okay.
Kumar.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he? Who is he? Is he Spike?
I don't know.
All right.
Because they always talked about doing Cowboy Bebop movie where Spike was Keanu Reeves
Oh.
and
He's kind of the king of the world right now.
what's
so-
his face? The other guy
can do
was
Yeah, he's playing
Lawrence
Spike.
Fishburne.
Oh, damn. Just reunite them.
Yeah.
Well, they're already reuniting because they're
Jawa,
doing.
yeah.
They're gonna do.
They're sort of too old to do Bebop.
Well, I'll say they're doing another Matrix movie now, so they're all back for that.
Whatever.
Now, so I agree definitely with the don't beat the fucking thing into the ground. Let it be what it is, and let it all be good. I am hoping that this spawns other fun stories within the Star Wars universe as series or miniseries, anything like that. One thing that I'm really, really hoping that I get in this series, I would love it in this 8 episodes, if there's a second season, anything like that. The one thing that nobody, to my knowledge, has revisited since the one time we were on the Forest Moon of Endor are the Ewoks. The Ewok Adventures, Caravan of Courage, all of that, they're non-canonical now. But if they could
Do you think they would
revisit
do that, though,
type
with
of world,
people
I would.
being so PC and shit?
What do you mean?
I'm just saying.
Little
Somebody's
people
gonna
need
get
work
pissed.
still. What are you
I
talking
know.
about?
I'm not saying they don't.
I mean,
Are you
I-
saying Ewoks are racist?
No, they're heightest. They're heightest. Hey, fuck it. Put a 9-year-old in there. I don't give a shit. No. Keep it Warwick Davis. I want it to be Warwick Davis specifically. But I think that would be a great thing to be able to jump into. And then I would also hope that maybe just because I love the Ewoks, because I do genuinely love the Ewok
Did you watch
Adventure
the
movies. No, I never watched the cartoon. That was one thing that, again, most Star Wars cartoon
Well, they
stuff
were in
kind
the
of
70s, I
lost
think.
me.
Maybe early 80s.
But I think that a story like The Mandalorian, but then just set it on the forest moon of Endor with them in there, in the way that the Caravan of Courage and the other Ewok Adventure
The
movie.
thing I liked the most about
that
the
would be
Ewoks
phenomenal to me.
was you had a battle of technology versus nature, basically.
Yep.
They were throwing fucking rocks.
Yep.
You know?
And you could, I mean,
Giant fucking
one thing that I know a
badass.
lot of people have been praising The Mandalorian for, and then they also shit on the newer Star Wars movies, is shoving subcontext and politics and everything like that into that. And so far, you don't have it with
it's
The
fabric.
Mandalorian. He really has. He's just letting the story be the story and letting it grow that way. So that I got to give big props to them, because a lot of people have issues with the newer stories for maybe being too woke or something along those lines. And I get it, but also art changes with the times and
Do you
movies
think
change.
that they're like, fuck, we have to do these last
I
three
feel like
movies,
some-
and then we can actually continue on with our storylines?
What you're saying with the actual
Because after this
the Skywalker
After that,
franchise?
that just basically wraps up the 9 movies.
that
You know
well,
what I
this
mean?
next one will wrap up everything
So
for
then anything
for them,
after
yeah.
that is a brand new
Yep.
story.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you think they're just like, fuck it, let's just get this done?
I don't think they're like, fuck it, let's get this done. I think there's a lot of, like I was saying, like subtext being thrown into the movies that are politically driven. And even if you look at the episodes 1, 2, and 3, there are literal lines that were taken straight out of like the halls of Congress in the big scenes where like Amidala, like, this is how the world ends, with thunderous applause.
Yeah.
Like, that is something that is like taken straight. I forget who said it in the real world, but that was said about America. Like, there's a big I cannot remember the exact situation that it was, but there were political things all throughout. Even you could probably throw some towards the original movies, but they just seem so much more like just a fun fantasy movie.
Yeah, for sure.
And The Mandalorian's giving you that, and I hope future endeavors from Disney in this universe give you just fun fantasy
the crazy
films.
thing about
and Ewoks
the
are really
original
good to do
Star
that.
Wars was, a lot of that was written on like mythology, so like Greek mythology, Viking
Greek mythology, and then he did just take a lot from cowboy movies and samurai movies. Like, straight up just took them, like, a lot of the words, like Jedi and Sith and stuff, are derivative of things from Japanese culture.
What about jizz?
Jizz. Oh, wait.
It's the Star Wars universe equivalent of jazz.
Yes.
And
yes.
the people in the cantina, the band, they're jizz
playing,
whalers.
They're playing jizz,
They're
right.
playing jizz, and they're
playing
jizz
jizz.
whalers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't really need that information, but I'm glad we got it. Yeah, jizz whalers. Somebody was just really funny.
Another
threw
funny
that
thing I
in
saw
there.
about Star Wars the other day was a post that said, if anyone from the Star Wars universe ever landed on Earth, they'd be fucking shocked to see that we have tundras, forests, deserts, and
Oh,
lava
yeah.
all on the same
All
planet.
on one planet. None of the planets in the Star Wars universe make sense from a scientific standpoint.
No,
because,
they don't.
Like, a whole thing being a
Whole
moon,
lava
a whole
planet.
thing being lava, the whole thing being a desert. Like, so those are flat Earths there. Like, they don't have any other weather happening. They have no regions that are not forest or not desert. Yeah, that's a big thing that people, I mean, have thrown at them from a scientific point. But that's where I just go, it's fantasy. Just throw it up in the air. It's fantasy.
meant to be fun.
Just fuck it. It is fun. All right, Justin. When
fuck it.
are you gonna watch the next episodes, huh?
Tonight.
You're gonna watch them all tonight?
Yeah.
You know, we should just put this all on pause, make them watch it, and then have them come back and talk about it.
All right.
I believe next. Yeah, we got episodes up. You said up and through the 27th.
Yeah.
The new movie comes out on like the 29th or something,
I'll see
or
it
the
after
19th,
the New Year's,
somewhere around
I
there.
think. Maybe.
Yeah, we're planning on seeing it that Thursday. I'm assuming you got to work
Maybe.
Thursday night. Try to get off because we're gonna all try to go.
Yeah.
Keith's gonna be in town. We're gonna go. It's gonna be a good old fashioned movie watching time at the Pocono Cinema.
I'm gonna jerk off in the theater.
In his Jedi robe, hopefully. Hopefully you wear a robe or something to cover it. Nope, just out. You're just gonna whip your dick out right in front of all the kids.
Yes.
All right. So be there, police. At the Pocono Cinema for the 7 o'clock showing. All right. So let's wrap this episode up here by saying a big thank you. Well, I guess to me for featuring the music.
Fuck you!
A big thank you to Mr. Justin Olimpedo for putting everything together here.
You're welcome.
And Mr. Zachary
Three Kings.
Storm it. Three Kings. Watch the
That
movie
was
Three
more-
Kings with
yeah.
George Clooney.
When
Watch
you're
the movie
screaming,
Three
yeah,
Kings.
One
dude.
more. Who else? What's the dude? Forrest Whitaker.
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, I forget who else is in that. Yeah, go watch the movie Three
Forrest
Kings.
Whitaker, isn't he?
I
in that
don't
movie?
think Forrest
don't
Whitaker
think
is. I'm
he
not
is.
really sure. But either way, while Justin's checking on that, big shout out to everybody over at Moot.tv, our super producer EJ5000 for getting us every single week. And the boys over at Let Me Ask You a Question, EJ, Greg, and Anthony, Sir Anthony of the Angels, our brother sister love podcast.
Wait, who'd you say it was?
He thought it was Forrest Whitaker.
No, it's George Clooney.
George
Mark
Clooney.
Wahlberg. and
Ice Cube. Ice Cube. It's Ice Cube. Yeah, it is Ice Cube. Apparently one of the most like tumultuous sets ever. That almost
20th.
broke all of them. Almost all of the 20th. Okay.
It's
the
the
Thursday.
19th,
Yeah, the
it's
Thursday.
Thursday.
The night before showing. All right, guys.
You
So
ding dong.
we will be back next week where we will be joined by Mr. James. So he's going to come on and help us write a song, and we are going to be doing a different style of beer taste test. We're going to drink beer we actually like next
Did
week.
Hell yeah.
Mark say, I'm looking forward to the Walking Dead spinoff with Frasier and Joey from Friends.
That would be
That would be
amazing.
a great show.
Oh my God. How you doing?
How you doing?
Oh, you look like you're not doing good.
You look like you're dead.
Well, technically, they aren't doing that well. Man. All right. Well, speaking of Frasier, we're going to go to our closing theme song to play
It
us
all
out.
comes around, baby.
It all comes around.
Do it for your daddy.
Damn. That
That should've
was
been-
harder than I thought it was going to be. I saw it coming.
Do it for your
Ow. Do it for your
daddy.
daddy. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Enjoy your snow.
Mood.tv.
Bye.
There's nothing more egomaniacal than singing the theme music for your own show. Who am I? Kelsey Grammer. If I could only drink like him, we're gonna write a new one every week. Some will be solid, some will be weak. We're gonna write a new one every week. Some will be solid, some will be total experimental pieces of shit. Oh, we're not over yet. Now we are.